about y'all, but I'm pretty comfortable with speaking for all of us to say there's nothing worse than getting profiled by the police, right?
Yeah,
and just getting harassed, right? Tay, I know you had that one story, right?
Yeah, y'all remember that one show we did in New York, CCNY, and then I went down to Harlem to go meet my sister and an old friend from Detroit, and I was kicking because I ain't seen my mans in a minute. You know, we just talking about old stupid dumb stuff we used to do, and we stepped outside and we was hungry, so we got some chicken. And we went to the basketball court. We got some chicken and went to the basketball court. Jesus Christ, we look so black. And I'm sure that set off some police censor. Because we was talking and laughing. In the middle of laughing, he stopped laughing. And he was like, hey, what that white van doing? And I glanced behind me, and it was an unmarked white van. And I turned back to him. Glanced back again. And I saw 10 officers. I can't say it was 10. It may have been 8 to 10, but it was 8 to 10 officers pulled out. It looked like a movie, dog.
In uniform.
In uniform. And they had their hands on their guns, all pulled up, all walked up to us very aggressively and was just like, hi, how you doing? And I was like, fuck, man. Like, you know what I mean? Because I knew, I felt like I could die.
Yeah, I know your heart dropped.
My heart dropped because I was like, you know, like, I was like, dang, like, this is how it really happens. But I really felt like, I was like, dang, like, this could be it. You know what I mean? But, you know, my friend, he knows how to talk to people, and he smoothed it over there after we had drugs, guns, as we was doing.
Regular stuff.
Yeah, regular stuff. You know what I mean? And, of course, it was late. It may have been, you know, it's not our fault. We can have a conversation outside. It's not, I can't say, it's because we look suspicious. No, it's not my fault, man.
That's normal things.
That's like, remember time I had to go DJ in West Georgia?
Yeah.
We had to drive like an hour, so I rented a car, and the tags were from Mississippi. So me and Rome driving, and I'm seeing people on the other side flash their lights. So like my mom always told me when people do that, that means there's cops around. And there were. I saw a few people get pulled over. So I slowed down. I'm like very cautious. Rome had a seatbelt on, 2 hands on the wheel, like I'm looking straight. Like I slowed down. I started doing like 65. It was like a 70 highway. Right. So I'm doing 65, and I pass by this cop, and then the cop pulls out. I'm like, what the hell? I look at the dashboard, 65. Then I pull over so he can pass me. He pulls next to me, looks at me and Rome, like right in our eyes. Pulls back, goes right behind me. Whoop, whoop. He pulled up, looked at us.
And backed up. And
It's like he said, you already know.
You already know. So I pull over. He comes to the window with his hand on his gun, of course. That's the only way they know how to do it, I think. I think so, for black people at least.
Yeah.
He asked me the regular questions. Do you have any weapons or drugs in the car? No. Yeah. And he said, can I ask you to step out the car, please? What? Okay, all right. You know, so I step out the car, and he asked me where I'm going. I said, I'm DJing this thing at West Georgia. He said, where's your equipment? I said, in the trunk. He says, all right, pats me down, tells me to sit in his car, and starts questioning Rome, asking Rome the same exact questions he just asked me. Came back, all right, man, well, you're free to go. Just gotta let you know you can't go under the speed limit in a speed zone.
You got pulled over.
Come on, man.
We're driving too slow.
He told me there was such thing called the speed zone. This isn't a video game.
I've never
But you know, like he was looking for drugs. He was trying to see if y'all had out-of-state tags.
Right.
They're always looking for drugs. You know what I mean?
And we fit the profile.
Exactly.
And
Especially
that was Jerome with the deep voice. Gotta come get me. Y'all remember? I remember when we got pulled over, me, Emmanuel, and Tay a couple weeks back when we were in Beverly Hills. You know, black people, Beverly Hills, Ford Taurus. They said, shut it down. Go get them. Yeah, 98 Ford Taurus. So it just looks like I'm trafficking. But the cop pulled us over, and he comes, you know, hand on his gun. And I don't know where in the United States that, you know, when you're asking for documentation, you need to have armed weapons, you know, because paper is dangerous.
Yeah, paper is dangerous.
Paper is very dangerous.
License
but
might cut you.
He comes, I give him a license registration. He looks at Tay in the back seat. He said, "Hey, don't move. Don't move." And I'm like, all right. I'm like, Tay, don't move. And so
What you was doing?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Benefits the profile. Dante.
So he goes back to his car. Another cop pulls up because one man with a gun is not enough. You gotta have two. Gotta have two. So he comes back and he's like, the other cop pulls up and he looks at Tay. He's like, oh, this one looks young. this one looks real young. Well, what does that have to do with anything? I don't know.
I look like a black teenager.
Oh, the scariest thing in the world.
Exactly.
Okay. So then he goes back, he comes back, he tells me my registration's a little late. I say, sir, I have the court documents here. You know, I haven't been here that long. Oh, well, where are you coming from? Coming from a meeting. Oh, well, what do you do? I'm in comedy, me and my friends. Oh, well, how long have you been in L.A.? We just got here. Okay, well, why are you here? When did you move here?
What violent comedians are running around in Beverly Hills?
So that he has to question me so angry, like he was so angry, his stash was risen, like he was so mad. So then he comes back, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let you go because you were respectful. Oh, but not because I'm just not doing anything, but because I know how to talk to you well. That's why you gonna let me go.
Because he expected you not to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm more lucky than most black men when I get pulled over because I never get the ticket. Never have to step out, and I never get the ticket for some reason. I remember it was me, Tay, and Emmanuel in Atlanta between 10 and 12, so it probably was 11. We just pulled into the gas station. I turned the car off because you ain't supposed to pump with it on. Safety first. Put in my black minimum of 5 to 7 just to get us where we need to go. And we was out. So now we drive and listen to music laughing. Then I hear whoop whoop. I'm like, we not listening to Trina. So it got to be a cop. So I pull over. And then they do, you know what they do? They shine the light in the car. Now I can't see nothing. It's a genius tactic.
You got some big eyes too.
And I got some big eyes. I see everything. It's a genius tactic. I can't see nothing. So he asked me the famous question. If y'all know it, say it with me. Do you know why your headlights wasn't up?
Okay.
You thought I was gonna say pull over. So I have this thing for some reason. Whenever I pump gas, I leave and I never remember to put my lights on. I never remember. So I try to tell a joke. Well, you know I got that 2020, so I got 99 problems, but headlights ain't one. He didn't laugh. He was straight professional. So I didn't tell him I was a comedian, thank God. So I gave him my license, my registration, and he did his job. So now we in the car just talking. Tay starts recording, actually. So he's recording this, and we like, okay, what's taking him so long? But then we realized, 3 black guys, late night, nice area. It's not good.
You deserve it.
We deserve it. We deserve it, especially with a name like Cameron. So it felt like after 30 minutes, he starts coming back. He's questioning, like, where you going? Where you coming from? This and that. But eventually, he lets us go. So we thought. So now we driving. The cops behind us. I busted left. I busted right. He busted left. He busted right.
This is when fear starts to
This
rise.
is when we're scared and nervous. I swear to you, we were so scared. So we just keep going for like a couple blocks. Eventually, he makes a left and we keep going. And at that exact moment, we all turned into DMX. It was like, these cops can't touch us. We out here driving black. They don't want none of this. We took off.
But we were so
scared. So scared.
But it is sad to say, but if you're a black man in America, most likely you have a cop story. Most likely you've been harassed by cops. And I have stories, my friends have stories, my family have stories. And as the whole world took notice this past month, Mike Brown had a story that he's unfortunately not around to tell us about, And I always ask the question, like, why? Why does it keep happening?
Yeah, like all these personal stories, they're just symptoms of some bigger illness, you know what I mean? Right. And people are mad and protesting and, setting stuff on fire, not, because of the child that was killed, yes, but because this keeps happening. Right. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's the war on drugs. I don't know if it's because of how the brand of black men or black people, but like something bigger is the reason, and that's why everyone is mad, Yep,
anger. I think what we need to do is we need to continue the conversation. Yeah. And what we want as Dormtainment, what we want people to do, every black person that's ever been harassed, racially profiled, or just somehow felt taken advantage of by the police, we want you to upload a video to YouTube telling your story, entitled it CopStories. Tweet us using the hashtag CopStories, and we're going to share it. We're going to tweet it, and we're going to keep this conversation going because it's we feel bad for what happened in Mike Brown, what's going on in Ferguson, but this is a much bigger situation that can affect us forever. Yeah. Let's do it.